How's it, everyone? So, this is a new show. It's a crossover show. So, I think I should be doing it in the Offside Maidens way. So, I'm going to be saying a very good evening and welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. I'm your host, Haribodin. This is Tara. And today we're going to bring you our whole panel and cross over the panel. So this is not your normal review show as we normally do it. So I want to see as much love as possible in the comment section. I want to see as much love in the super chat. I want you to smash that like button. I want you to do all those things because me and Tara are going to take this thing away for you. We're going to be basically just mediating the conversation. You might see a little rant from me maybe in the middle of the show, dependable on how the conversation goes. I'm not very happy with this particular performance. I just want to let you guys know that. I think, yes, by 3 runs, it all looks all good on paper. But the way everything has gone in this particular match, I feel that it could have been a much bigger loss if it wasn't for a quick performance from Dwayne Pretorius and Bjorn Fontaine at the end with some lucky boundaries in the end of the day, I feel. So before we get going, before we get started, before Tara says something to you guys, I'm just going to give you a subscribe, click that notification bell for all future videos as well. This is, of course, the review show. So we're going to be talking about everything that has to do with the T20I between Pakistan and South Africa. Tara, how are you feeling after that match? I know you caught a glimpse. You were busy exercising and etc. and catching glimpses of it, but I'm sure you got majority of the match.
Yes, I did catch the glimpse, more than a glimpse actually, the gist of the match. And I have to disagree with you, Khalid. I don't think it was such a terrible performance. I don't know what you're going to be ranting about. You say, it was a few lucky shots. I see it as the young players coming in and being gutsy, taking risks where they should. I feel that the batsmen on top of the order, our opening batsmen, they didn't do too badly. They were the ones that put on the runs from the get-go. And that's what we want them to do. Yes, we were unlucky. I think we were more unlucky. I mean, certain run-outs that happened were a little unlucky. I mean, what happened there to Reza Hendricks, I think that was unlucky. But all in all,
That was stupid.
overall, I don't think
I'm not unlucky.
what
That was stupid.
it
So
was silly. Yes, but these things happen, okay? If it didn't happen, if he stayed there a little longer, I think the game would have ended a lot differently. So I don't think that you should be too critical of these guys. I mean, this is
okay,
like a
so
young, inexperienced team that was put together, and they fought.
not
Okay, they did.
not so much. So my opinion over here is that there are senior guys in this particular lineup that failed miserably in this match. And I think particularly, and I'm not going to be, I have to be cruel, not cruel, but I need to be unbiased over here and not be, I need to show my feelings, and we are fans, so we're allowed to give our view. I think that a lot of people in the comment section would also want to give their view freely. So I'm going to be saying this, and it's my honest opinion over here. And remember, Tara, the views of this particular conversation are not the views
Of Cricket Fanatics Mag, it's that of the individual sharing it.
Thank you very much. So I think that the experienced guys let us down. First and foremost, it's an opportunity for the experienced guys to cement their place in the side. So David Miller, poor. Heinrich Klaassen, poor shot. He's always going out, hitting straight to the fielder. I think he needs to find the gaps a little bit more. It's more than one occasion that he's done it in ODIs and in T20s where he does it. He's straight to the fielder, not into the gaps. There's when we need him. There was failures when we needed our batsmen to pick things up. Reza Hendricks not taking the strike when there's guys that are struggling at spin on the other end. Take the strike as much as you can. Try to get the single. Find the single and try to take the strike as much as you can if you're the in batsman. Take it deeper. A run out like that is not necessary. You the senior batsman, you make the call. Say no, there's no run there. You looking where the ball is. You could see where it spun away. He turned and looked at the ball go behind the stumps. At that particular point, you should say, okay, look here, no, don't run. It's not until they require you a score at that point if your back is turned to the ball. If it was the other way around and he turned it and he's looking straight ahead and Antile could see the ball, then it's Antile's call and I can understand why he's going and hopping. But not when you turn around 180, look at the ball, and then still try to run. That was a bit... I mean, we've seen in the test match. You can't say that these Proteas players haven't watched any of the tests. You could see how quick Rizwan is behind the stumps. He's very, very agile and very quick behind the stumps and very clever behind the stumps. Very disappointed about the way we played against spin. I don't see much of an improvement in the way Janneman is played against spin. I think that's something that I'm very shocked about, because I thought that there would be some improvement since the last time we've seen him play. He looked almost like startled, and some people even said, I had a joke, one of my friends told me a joke. He said that spinner played in Primroses and played in the final for South Africa, so he got out to a club cricketer. So he's like, so I was laughing because, oh yes, he's an international cricketer and all of that, but still at the end of the day, we shouldn't look so clueless. I particularly thought, and this is where Paul comes in, because me and him obviously had a discussion about it yesterday. My thing was that maybe putting a youngster like Jock Snyman in a spin conditions up the order when he's going to play spin, because the majority of the time, if you see the pitch, you could obviously see there's going to be spinner friendly. I mean, both sides opened with spinners, so you could obviously see that it's going to be spinner friendly. So you want Jock Snyman to face as much pace as possible, because that's who he punishes. He's always plays well against spin. So I was a bit concerned about that. The senior players need to take more responsibility. You can't be having a top four like that collapsing. Not when we need them. When they're the core group of the side, they need to be able to step up. Junior Dala, wasteful today. I think putting him in the particular side, back bowling only 2 overs. If you're a senior bowler at 31 years old, you should be leading that attack, not coming in as a third change bowler. I don't agree with that. You're putting a lot of pressure on the other youngsters. So I'm very upset about the win. I think that the 3-run victory was like almost it paints over the cracks. It was a lot worse than that. I think we were in a bad shape before Dwayne came out. We were in a bad shape between Bjorn came out. Bjorn got some lucky fours that went his way, and some good shots as well. He was very brave, and I like to see that braveness from the youngsters, and I like to see that side. Janneman was very confident against the seam bowlers, and I think that was good too. So I'm not very happy with this performance, even though it's just a close 3-run win. Am I being too harsh, Dara?
I think you are being too harsh. I understand your criticism of the senior players, but I think that this was maybe this game, and I think what they were trying to do was to actually test the youngsters, and I am happy with the youngsters' performance, their performances. I mean, if you look at Janneman Malan, you were quite critical of him. He's still a youngster, relatively inexperienced, but there he was, and I don't think he did too badly. I don't think 44 is too badly. I think that you are being very harsh. I feel like I need to bring out a beep sound, because it sounds like you're really angry at this performance. And I think that to lose by 3 runs, to take it that far into the 20 overs, I think that was excellent, because I don't know what I was expecting. Maybe my expectations weren't as high as yours. Maybe you expected Heinrich Klaassen to come in and do something special, and then he disappointed you. And you expected
and David Miller. Every time David Miller disappoints me. Every time. I mean, I don't know how many times I'm going to say, when is Miller time coming?
Miller time is never coming when you expect it. Miller time gets you when you least expect it. It's a surprise attack.
Oh, so almost like a love interest. Okay, so let's do this. Let's bring on the panel. I think it's time to bring on all the panels over here. So I've got for you.
The panel's going to agree with me, to be honest. I think the
most
offside
of them
maidens,
probably will.
I think the offside maidens will agree. I've only met Aaron. I was going to say Aaron. Aaron.
Sometimes he acts like an Aaron. Sometimes. Okay, let's introduce you. Let's get him on the show. Let's get my panel first.
Hello.
Let's get Aaron on the show.
Nice to meet you.
I feel so. I think I'm having a fan moment here. Watch Offside Maidens, and so having a fan moment. So appreciate your work. Love your work.
Thank you, and thank you for watching Offside Maidens and supporting women's cricket. I do follow you on social media and all.
Thanks. That's. I feel so honored. Thanks.
I haven't seen you smile like that in a long time, man.
I'm having the busiest day of 2021. It has been just unbelievable. But anyway,
February. You still got plenty.
I know, right? I wanted to go downhill from here, but it was because of the cricket, so that's why.
Awesome. So let's bring on the offside maiden panel, probably the most important part of this panel, guys. Hey, are we going to succeed to that? Let's bring on Emily. Let's bring on Lisha. Let's bring on the twins. Let's bring on one and only Lucy.
Not you as
Sorry,
well.
that's a
Surely.
person. That was a person. That was a inside joke, guys. That don't know.
Oh, an
Yeah.
offside joke, rather.
Asper's joke.
Yeah.
That's what it was. That's what
More
it
of an
was.
offside joke, like Tara says. Tara, I'm going to take it away to you. I'm going to give you a chance to ask a couple of questions. I think let's get the offside maidens talking a little bit, and then we can move on. I'll move on with my panel. So let's get the conversation going.
I'm actually very excited to hear what the offside maidens think, because I feel like they are going to agree with me. So actually, you know what? I'm going to start with Emily, the real Emily over there in the corner. Emily, were you disappointed with the Proteas performance, or do you actually agree with me? I think you were listening to me. Do you agree that it wasn't as bad as what Khalid's making it out to be? That the youngsters, they took some chances, they looked good, it was a good test for them, and 3 runs, hey, not too bad.
Sorry, Tara. Definitely gonna have to disagree with you there. I think I'm agreeing with Khalid in that. Yeah, I don't know. It just we lost. Yeah, we only lost by 3 runs, but it definitely wasn't. It wasn't a good performance. Yeah, look, to me, like spin is still a very evident problem for us. We could see that in the middle overs, especially where the run rate just dropped tremendously. We struggled to face spin. Yeah, a few chances going down. Reza being ridiculously running himself out ridiculously. And yeah, I don't know. It's just what Khalid was saying. Like I think the losing by 3 runs definitely covers up the cracks that are evident in the side. So look, I'm happy that certain players got chances to show themselves or to try and show themselves. I'm disappointed that other players didn't get chances. But look, we'll see what happens in the rest of the series. But yeah, I have to disagree with you, Tara.
Okay, you say you're disappointed that other players didn't get chances. Which other players are you thinking of?
I would have loved to see Ryan Rickleton in there. I'm a big fan of him, so I would have loved to see him there. I mean, obviously Susanna Magala isn't in the side, so I would have liked to see him in the side. He isn't there, but perhaps a Glenton Stearman could have been an option instead of Junior Dala. You know what Khalid was saying, to have Junior Dala in there and then he only bowls two overs is I don't understand what the thought process behind that was. But yeah, like I said, we'll see if they make any changes in the rest of the series. Yeah.
Well, Lisha, as a player, which you are a cricket player, you were watching. Now, I feel like you may disagree with me. You agree with me? Why is nobody agreeing with me? Am I the only one who is not deeply disappointed by this game?
Well, I'm not deeply disappointed. My expectation wasn't as high as Kari, but I kind of agree with Kari. And one of the
Lisha, we're struggling to hear you, Lisha. Can you just maybe pull out your earphones? Because I have to hear what you have to say because this is important.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, no, not quite. Can you, Tara, can you just move on to the next bit while Lisha's looking out the earphones, maybe?
Yes, of course. Twins. So now the twins are huge cricket fans. So now from a fan perspective, okay, obviously you're a little disappointed with the loss, but was it not exciting to see how the youngsters were performing?
Well, yeah, I actually, we kind of agree with both Khalid and with you, Tara. So yes, it is very disappointing to not see. Come on, we don't want to make enemies here. We're just in the middle because, like I know we were also really expecting to see more from the more advanced players, the more experienced players to come out and you know, yeah, even Muller and Riza, just weren't really. And then we agree with Tara that it's not such a big deal because there was a lot of like you
Good
said,
moments,
youngsters, and
yeah.
also some good moments. Yeah, with yeah, I think it was Bjorn
Milan.
Fortuyn who was hitting quite a few fours, trying with a sprained ankle or something. What did he sprain? His leg or something? But yeah, we kind of in the middle. Yeah, it's like it always feels like we're getting the game to our favor, and then it's like we just lose it again. So it's like it's never like completely in our hands. We always just like about to have it, then we drop it again, and then we have it. So it's always like and we also lack like partnerships, like really strong partnerships, especially from the beginning. It just seemed to it wasn't very
unstable.
Yeah, that word.
I feel like the beginning wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
But Lisha, what are your thoughts now? Now, is your sound working?
Now,
Are you talking? Because if you're talking, your sound is not working.
Just pull out your headphones completely. Just talk without the headphones. Yeah, just pull it out completely. We'll wait for you. We have time. I really need to get your thoughts because you always give strong computer opinions.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So, Tara, I'm with Khalid on this one. Look, I feel like I didn't like Melissa. I feel like Melissa is over now because we're always waiting for Melissa and it never comes. And what you said with Yanuman, I feel like he got himself if he needs to learn how to convert because he saw the likes of Muhammad Rizwan converting to a half century and then again to 100. So if that opener can do it, why can't we? We have the talent, we have the potential. Why are we struggling to convert? And like Emily said, spin is a problem, but I feel like Yanuman had the time to work on that. So yeah, I'm with Khalid. I feel like the 3-run loss, or the 3-run defeat to Pakistan, it is just a cup. It wasn't a good game. It wasn't a good game.
Okay, Lisha, I'm going to ask you to reconnect again. I'm just going to kick you from the studio. Just reconnect again. We got some of it. The main part is that you agree with me. That's the best part that I took. But okay, Tara, let's go with you again. You can move on to Lucy. Sorry, I'm talking here. It's my turn next.
Lucy, so Lucy's from the UK. Lucy, did you manage to catch most of the game? I know there's a minor time difference, but did you manage to actually watch most of the game?
Yeah, so I actually watched all of it from the fourth over. And Tara, I know you've been looking for people to agree with you, and I genuinely agree with you. I think the youngsters did well, and I think we should have had more from the senior players.
It sounds like you're also agreeing with Khalid, but okay. I don't know. You know what? I feel like the game, I feel like, yes, David Miller maybe should have performed, but we can't always expect a lot from just one player. Okay, Khalid, that's we can't put all our eggs in one basket. And we need to celebrate the small wins. And we can look forward to the next game, and hopefully they'll improve on that. I don't think they're going to play spin any better. I honestly feel like after every single game where the opposition has a spin bowler, we're talking about how, we struggle against spin. So I think we just need to work on our strengths, and our strengths is not playing spin. So we can't be too critical of Yanuman because, which one of our batsmen is amazing against spin, Khalid? I don't know what kind of training needs to happen in order to make it better, but it doesn't seem like it's something that's gotten better over the years. We're talking years of talking about this. This isn't just something that happened in this game.
So first and foremost, I think Heinrich Klaassen is probably our best player against spin in this particular side. Moving him up the order is important in a particular game when it's spin, when a match or pitch is spin friendly. He spoke very highly about the way he prepared as a kid. If you go watch my on lockdown episode with Heinrich Klaassen, he speaks about the fact that him as a kid, only when he was a kid, he didn't really watch much cricket. He didn't have much heroes, so him and his brothers and his father went to roll their own pitches in the area. And because it was them that were doing it, it wasn't always the best pitches and grassiest of pitches. And because they didn't have all the equipment, it was very, I would say, gravelly and stuff like that. So a lot of the time they would practice against spin. He would practice against spin as a kid already, because that his father and his brothers used to bowl that against him, especially when he was a kid. So he learned that deviations a lot earlier. And he's the best player of spin in the side. So that's what I wanted to say on that. But let me just get my panel involved here. Let me start off with Aditya. Aditya went to the press conference, and I want to hear what Heinrich Klaassen had to say. Can you just give me a quick summary, Aditya, on what Klaassen had to say? If he is aligned with me, or is he more aligned with Tara?
Hi guys, good to see such a huge panel here tonight. Generally, Klaassen was quite pleased with the performance, to be honest. He felt that where South Africa really went wrong was that they didn't capitalize on crucial moments in the game, and that middle phase in the second innings where they lost a couple of wickets. I think they had Klaassen himself and David Miller until they didn't really contribute with the bat, and that cost them dearly, and Snyman. So that was what he thought really cost them the game. But additionally, he thought from a fielding point of view, they dropped a couple of catches, which wasn't ideal. But overall, he thought that the bowling performance was fine, and he actually said that this was a chaseable score. And had batting gone all right, they probably would have chased down 10 or 15 runs more. So overall, he was quite happy with what he had seen today, and he just thought that it was mainly the middle order that led to that eventual collapse, and they lost by 3 runs.
Okay, so he's blaming the senior players for this loss, as expected. So what I want to say next is I'm going to bring Paul onto chat. What really bugged me was the Shamsi after that performance. He said he's quietly positive and confident that they're going to chase down this total. He seemed pretty chilled that his batsmen are going to do the job. I was pretty chilled and very positive that we were going to chase down 170. It's not a massive total in T20 cricket. So I thought that I felt underwhelmed, obviously, afterwards, because when you have a world-class batsman like David Miller in your side, you should be chasing down scores like this. And I'm not putting everything on David Miller alone. I think that Janneman and Riza put on a decent enough opening partnership over there to give them a platform to perform. It's not like David came in when there was 2 down quickly, 3 down quickly, when we had a little runs on the board. He came on when there was a decent amount in T20 cricket to actually lift off, get yourself in and play. But what are your thoughts, Paul? You just muted, bro.
Yeah, sorry about that. But Khalid, you're just, I think, a typical Manchester United fan, very negative. Look, I think let's put this in context. It's we're looking to the World Cup. It's an audition for everybody. And yes, you're angry at David Miller. Yes, you're angry at Heinrich Klaassen. And yes, you're angry at the middle order. That's not where I think we lost the game. I think essentially we lost the game in giving Pakistan a few more runs. I did feel at the end of Pakistan's innings that they could have gotten had they scored 15, 20 more, we'd be more in trouble. So I do think that South Africa bowled well. I love the fact that Heinrich Klaassen identified that express pace on this pitch does not work, which is why Junior Dala only bowled 2 overs. I understand everyone's angry that Junior Dala didn't bowl the 4, but quite frankly, he has no skill set like Petlugwayo, Proteas, or even Lungi Ngidi to be able to incorporate cutters, short balls. So his job was always to bowl fast. It didn't work out. If you look at the other side, Harris Ralph also went for 11 and over. Fast bowlers were being hit out the park. So yeah, look. But from my perspective, it's about understanding that you can't lose wickets in the middle. We did a lot of mistakes. Yes, we can be angry, but criminally in the field, you need to take your catches. You needed to try and get the wicket of Mohammad Rizwan. He's the reason why Pakistan won today. Incredible performance. He was dropped twice, and that is something that South Africa need to look back on. But from my understanding, I love the way everyone batted. Poor Jacques Snyman, he has to learn, and this is the best way for him to learn how to play spin. He couldn't pick Kadir out of his hand, and that's something he's going to have to improve on. He couldn't see the wrong one. He couldn't see the leg break. It was just a mess. So did Yaneman. He struggled as well. But they have to learn, and this is the best way for them to learn. It's a South African problem. The women's team has this problem as well. They can't pick the ball out the hand. But kudos to Pakistan for bringing it back. I think Aditya said yesterday that he wants to see South Africa chase 50 runs or 30 balls. We needed around about 50 of the final 30. We got close. No cigar. So yeah, I think that's what it is. I also wanted Dwayne Pretorius to bat higher. That was my other problem. I kind of felt Dwayne should have come in before Andile, but I was happy David Miller got to bat at 4. It didn't work out. But look, T20 is like a coin toss. If you're not perfect, and both teams weren't perfect, and we got a good game in the end, a thriller. So yeah.
Spoken like a true Arsenal fan. Moving on to another Arsenal fan. Trust the process. Trust the process. Moving on to another Arsenal fan. Adam.
Yep. Well,
Your
yeah,
thought
Harley.
process.
First of all, mate, I like this angry Harley. It's quite entertaining. Should have brought my popcorn along tonight. Didn't realise I'd be this entertained. But yes, before I talk about South Africa, I feel like you do have to give a lot of credit to Pakistan tonight, in particular Mohammad Rizwan. And I just found an incredible stat about Rizwan. Since the 1st of January 2020, he's averaging 79 in T20I cricket with a strike of 141. That is absolutely sensational for an opening batsman. Taking on the responsibility, taking on the opening role really well, in my opinion. And then, of course, someone who Mpo alluded to was Usman Khadir, who has had an absolutely searingly hot start to T20I cricket. 10 wickets in 4 matches with an average of 8.1 and an extremely impressive economy rate of 5.4. So for me, before you talk about South Africa and nitpick and criticise, I feel like you have to give a lot of credit to those guys in particular for Pakistan. They both played match-winning efforts there, in my view. But with regards to the Proteas, I think everyone here on the panel has pretty much said it in their own way. It was basically the middle order. Harley, you said it yourself, the senior players didn't stand up today. I don't think it's necessarily fair for this particular match to blame the likes of Yana Malan, for example, who got out to an absolute jaffa from Usman Khadir. Of course, you got Reza Hendricks, who people always have comments and criticism about with regards to his poor strike rates. But in my view, it was just the middle order tonight. They didn't fire. Between them, they got around 30 runs, and that's just not going to win you a T20I match, which has come down to the wire like this. So, yes, it's disappointing. Yes, on the day, you're going to feel a bit upset about it and frustrated. But let's face it, this isn't the strongest Proteas team. And if you're taking a very, very strong Pakistan team with the likes of Babar Azam, with the likes of an informed Mohammad Rizwan, taking Shaheen Shah Afridi and Haris Rauf to the absolute cleaners, there is something positive to actually gain out of this match. And I understand that that's quite difficult to maybe grasp at the moment because you just come off the back of another T20I loss. But in my opinion, for all of the disappointments, for all of the negative and poor aspects of that game, I still feel like there's a glimmer of hope. It's just about bringing in those more experienced players like Quinton, Temba Bavuma, once those guys come back in. And I think South Africa should be sorted, Harley. I don't think that they should be absolutely gutted by this performance tonight, in my opinion.
Cool. Awesome. So I just needed to be a little bit more on the other side of these things. Now that I'm cooled down, let me talk some sense. Let me talk about this. And especially when Werner's throwing a super chat at me and telling me to cheer up. We lost by smaller margin to Haris Rauf shoulder, 1 Pakistan the game. So excellent comment there for Werner. So let me get into it. Guys, by the way, we are hitting, this is our highest stream that we've had so far on Cricket Fanatics Magazine, live stream. So thank you to all the supporters from Offside Maidens, and thank you to all the supporters from our particular channel. You have to hit that like button. If I go off here and there's not 40 likes on this video, I'm going to be very upset. I mean, you'll feel a little bit more. Maybe come knocking on your door and giving you some further ramps. And I'm not going to just bring myself. I'll bring Lubabalo with me. And then it can be a proper one. We can have a proper... And Lisha, because Lisha has a rant or two in her as well. Lisha, I'm going to come to you about this one. Okay, let's look at the positives. So Umpo summed it up brilliantly. He was very equal. So I was obviously coming and talking from an emotional point of view, and I was giving my sense from a very emotional point of view, because I just expected a lot more from our senior players, and it's something that's a shame in Pakistan, because in the Test series we expected our senior players to do better. Now in the T20 series is happening again. We're expecting our senior players to do better. I think that the way Janneman controlled that innings up front against the new ball was spectacular. I think he deserves props for that, for the way he performed over there. I think that boy is a phenomenal player. He's going to be a future star for South African cricket, and he is one of my favorite players. So very well done to him. The way Bjorn took the new ball under pressure in this game, his run out, brilliant from him. Heinrich Klaasen's captaincy, very well done. I think the way he controlled Pakistan to an extent. Obviously, we let Rizwan. You can't stop an amazing performance like that. When a guy's on the form like that, it's very difficult to stop him. Just look how India couldn't control Joe Root in the Test match. When your guy's in form, he's in form. You just can't stop him. It's the same thing when David Miller is in form. You can't really control the guy when he's on form every 7 matches, even every 20 matches. So from that perspective, we need to find a way to get our senior players performing. We need to find a way to give them more responsibility. You know, I'm very harsh on David. It's because I love him so much, and because I think that he's such a good player, and because I know his potential. But I'm sick of thinking about him as a potential player right now. It's like I said in my previous shows.
Hold up, sorry.
Yes.
How long has he been in the Proteas side?
Very long.
Since 2010. It's been 11 years, and you're still talking about potential.
No, I'm not. I'm not. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying
let me give you a
senior player. What I'm saying is he's a senior player, right? He's always been talked about as having potential. It's now the time for him to. It was the time last year. It was the time the year before, 28, 29, 30. It's the time for him to cement his spot in this side and show that he can be the main guy that they build the T20 squad around. That's what should be happening with David Miller. If you're an IPL player, but he's not performing that way.
Look, David Miller in white ball cricket in South Africa, there's no person who averages over 40 in ODI cricket and a strike rate of 100, I think it's 120 outside of AB de Villiers. Him and AB de Villiers hold that honor. But if you move it over to people who scored 1,000 ODI runs, and they've also got an average of 40 in ODIs, and on top of that, a strike rate of over 100. I think it's 120. There's only 4 people on that list. It's Kedar Yadav, AB de Villiers, David Miller, and I think it's an English batsman. I just don't know who it is. I don't think it's Joe. But put some respect on David Miller's name. The reason why my problem is that David always come in at number 5. He always needs to bat at number 4. And we can't be fair. We can't be unfair on him because now all of a sudden he's batting in the position where he's supposed to bat in T20 cricket. It pains me, but you cannot drop a David Miller from a Proteas ODI side because you know, or white ball side, because you know how good he is. I think you're just angry because you thought today's the day, he's batting at 4 and it's going to happen. It's going to happen sometime in the weekend. He's going to give you a performance. Just wait on that. That's all I'm
hoping so. Because for me, 250s and 100 in 79 games is not good enough for me. I'm sorry. I don't care if he's batting at 5 and 6. South Africa's been in trouble in a lot of those times as well. Come to the middle when we were in a
How many
difficulty.
Does he have in those innings? That's something.
Okay, let me go back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 games he took to score 41. And then 13, 14 games it took for him to get a 50. That was the last time he got a 60. He got 130 in that time. England did nothing straight, and he batted 4 and 3 and 5 against India. Sri Lanka did nothing. The last time he scored was against Pakistan and Johannesburg on a pitch, obviously, that was conducive to South Africa's batting, of course. That series, he scored 1. From that 65, going back, 130, and then there was that 100 in Bangladesh in 2017. So from 2017 to 2021, he scored 250s in that time. 150, actually. Sorry, 150 and 100 in that time. I just think that he needs to it's time for him to really. I want to see David Miller was very talented as a person that came into the system. Everybody thought he was the guy. He's the next best thing. He's the guy that's going to replace A.B. de Villiers. And like you was talking about, the comparison has to be there. But I want him to take control of that game and say, look, yeah, I'm going to be the man here. Whether I'm rotating the strike, whether I'm going for it, I need to be the senior guy on the side now. He speaks about it. He spoke about it in his press conference. He said that he's the senior guy, that he needs to step up. Now step up. It's time. I want to see it this weekend. If it doesn't happen this weekend, then we can talk about it again. But Lisha, you didn't get much to say. Can you please just weigh in on this conversation over here?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you slightly. I just hope that when you talk longer, that it won't break up. Please.
Okay. I like this college. You know, I just want to put it out there. I like this college. Well, like for the stats are right there, but like what college is 150 and 117 is not good enough, especially when you're supposed to be the senior in the team. I'm with college. I'm waiting for the time, but then on the other hand, I'm like, how long still in the team when there's someone else who could perhaps and can perform? So must we wait out for more time? Like another 20 matches, another 50 matches before he performs okay, or we replace him? I feel like we should replace him because having him hang around for a longer period of time is going to be a wasted youngsters' potential. You know, let's help the youngsters now, like doing with Animal. So yeah, I don't know. I'm all for giving other people opportunities when the seniors don't step up.
Okay, so Todd, it's your chance now to actually bring on someone that can counterattack this. I like the way this is going, guys. This is part of the show. Look, yeah, sometimes you need to, get involved in the show. I want to get the discussions going. I need to raffle a few feathers. Otherwise, it's just going to be a boring show. So I hope you guys are enjoying it. Smash that like button and obviously get involved in the super chat. So bring your army with you, Tara. Who's next?
Feel like I don't have much of an army. In fact, the only person that I feel mostly agreed with me was Aaron, because what Aaron is saying is right. We are criticizing South Africa's performance. You criticizing Miller, saying we should drop him. Many of you saying that, which I do not believe should be done.
We should drop him.
Listen, Leisha threw that around. She was breaking up here and there, but I heard her saying, let him go. Maybe I got it wrong. Maybe I was wrong. Leisha can correct me if she'd like to.
I did say it.
She did. She said we need to drop him. I feel like we shouldn't be so quick to just drop players. We haven't had much cricket, okay? We haven't had much international cricket. Let's see what our guys can actually do. Don't be so quick to say, okay, he didn't perform now, he's senior, he should be performing. Let's give them a chance. I mean, look at everything that happened before COVID. People that weren't performing are performing now. Let's give people a chance. So, Aaron, I feel like you are my ally in this. And what you were saying is right, because we are criticizing South Africa, but we should look at how Pakistan is finding form. That they are looking really good, or maybe it's just they're looking good against us, but they're looking really good. Their players are playing really well. Right, Aaron? You don't believe that Miller should be dropped?
That's an interesting one, isn't it, with regards to David Miller? Because me personally, my school of thought is that you don't pick a player on reputation. You give youngsters a chance. You give guys who have performed in the domestic circuit. That's something which I very much stand by. Harley, don't start clapping me just yet. Okay, I'm going to get them up. But with regards to...
calm down,
you're supposed to be on my side, but I see the offside maidens on my side. I think maybe we should switch the review shows around.
We'll have to do that in the future, Harlid. But with regards to the point about David Miller, again, it's expectations. David Miller is not the kind of guy who's going to graft out and grind out a 30, 40 or 50. He's someone who's either going to go out there, produce fireworks, or he's going to get out early. A bit like Glenn Maxwell for Australia. That's the kind of player he is. Colin de Grandon, another fantastic example for New Zealand. He's someone who's very frustrating to watch, but you pick him because of what he can produce. It's what I'm in my Birmingham Bears shirt tonight. It's something that we picked the guy up for in 2017. That's the entire reason we bought him. So with regards to Miller being in the team, it's whether or not South Africa feel comfortable with that almost unpredictability, with the enigmatic nature of David Miller. And if you want someone who's going to be in there a bit more stable, a bit more secure, but doesn't have the match-winning capabilities, then choose them. But if you want that guy, the X factor, because we all know what David Miller can do. I know that it was 5 years ago now, 2016, with that incredible century against Bangladesh. I know that's been and gone, but he can produce when he needs to. The only issue is he's not going to do it in odd bilateral series here and there. He's not going to be a guy who's averaging 40, 50 with a decent strike rate. He's going to go big or go home. So again, it depends. And for me, I am looking at that South Africa team. Miller's record in Asia isn't amazing. I think he averages in the low 20s in T20I cricket. There, of course, with the T20 World Cup coming up in India, that is problematic. But again, could he be in the squad? Yes, because he just offers you something so different, so unique. The guy's known as Killer Miller. There's a reason why he has that nickname, because of what he is capable of. So for that reason, I would have him in the very least in the squad. He is your secret weapon, your X factor. I said it about Harris Ralph, potentially in the Test series, which never came to fruition. Ollie Stone, for example, in the England side. It's just something with me that I feel like you cannot allow a guy like David Miller to just be completely phased out of South African cricket. Fair enough, don't put him in consistently, but now and again, put him in there, add some spice. Variety is the spice of life, as they say. And for that reason, Khalid, I think I'd put him in from time to time. That's my personal view.
Yeah. I just think that in the times when we needed him, especially in the World Cup as well, in the ODI cricket, we needed him to step up there. Didn't happen. He scores sporadically when we need him to really be a solid guy. If you see, my thing is you're seeing a guy on the side. Do not step up. He's not 21 anymore.
Yeah, but again, what do you expect from David Miller? Because I know from being a Warwickshire fan with Colin de Grandhomme, there were times when I looked at him and thought, Colin, just rotate the strike, just go at 120. And he'd go out there, try and smash it over cow corner, and his stumps would go flying and we'd lose the game. Okay, that's the kind of player that David Miller is. That is the chance that you take. Okay, that is the trade-off.
Colin can bowl.
Well, for us, he had a Connery rate of over 12, but we'll leave Colin out of it. Let's leave the Colin. I'm not going to slander Colin because Colin's one of my favourite players. But with regards to David Miller, okay, that is the trade-off. It's like with Rohit Sharma as well with India. You can't expect him to go out there in a T20I match and just sit there and rotate the strike. It's not the kind of player that he is. You cannot quash that talent.
I've got a thing about David Miller. In the last couple of games that I watched him bat with the tail, like you're saying, he should be able to bat with the tail and score massive runs. He rotated the strike and put the tail on strike when he was supposed to rotate the strike and keep the strike, and he didn't. He didn't farm the strike. They faced over 20 balls in an ODI match. I was like, "What are you doing?" And I was shouting at the screen then. And I'm being like this because I leave drop David Miller now.
Bro,
I'm gonna drop David Miller now.
I just think you put too much responsibility on Miller.
Because you can't. Okay, so if David Miller comes out and he says, "I'm a senior guy, I need to take more responsibility, I need to step up, I need to do all of these things," then you do that. Why are we giving him so much leeway? If this was anybody else, if this was Temba, I'm sorry. Would you know how crazy everybody would be going on if this was Temba? If this was Faf, my lord. If this was Faf today, the whole Twitter would have been on Faf's case if this was Faf. Why do people have... At the IPL, David did absolutely bugger on the IPL as well. Coming into positions...
No, but that was unfair. He got run out on the first ball without even facing a ball and he never played again. That is just so unfair. That is really, really unfair for me. Really?
Okay, so now we know that Upo has a crush on David Miller too.
No,
So
I do not. No, the one point I will say about David Miller is that having batted at 5, I expect my number 5 to score 30 or plus significantly throughout his career. And he's done that. I put it up in the private chat 17 times out of 69 matches. So 1.5 to 2 2 out of 7 matches, he comes with a score of 30. Yes, I know you guys are expecting fireworks.
69 innings, 17 scores of above 30.
I understand that, but David Miller gives you in a team that has Quinton, Temba, Faf. I know AB's coming back, AB, and maybe even a Heino Clausen, whoever it is. He gives you that ability to take the game away from a team when there's no pressure on him. Maybe yesterday batting at 4 was too high. That's fine. But today is a different thing. If you look at what he got today, it happens. So let's just allow that. Let's just allow him. At the end of the series, if he gets no runs or does whatever, we can then rant on Sunday night. But there's so many guys who've had a great game today, and let's talk about them.
Okay, let's talk about them. Who's the guys that had a great game in the batting lineup?
In our batting lineup?
Reza Hendrick.
Who wants to go?
And Yanaman.
Okay, who wants to go? Who wants to talk about that? I'm giving you guys an open platform to talk about why it was such an amazing performance in the batting lineup. Who was your guys? Let's go with Twins.
Is everybody frozen or am I just frozen?
I think everybody's fine. I want to ask the Twins, who are you most impressed about in the South African lineup? Let's get some positivity going over here.
Is it on? No. Okay. Well, what did you say? The most impressive. Most impressive.
In our batting lineup.
Okay, obviously in the batting lineup. Okay, obviously Yanaman's 44 was, very shy of 50. He could have, he could have actually made that 50, but then, and then obviously Hendricks Reza making 54, was it? 54. Yeah. So like you said, on paper it looks good. Okay. But I think the person who, for me, that let's say put a little extra in, I think was, in my opinion, Bjorn Fortuin. It half looked as if he was carrying the team. At the end, it's like, all our best batsmen are gone. Like you said, the more experienced players is gone. So it's kind of like it was on him to make that last runs, and then the last ball, and we were all hoping it was going to be a 6, but obviously it wasn't even a 4. But so I think for me, I'm a very nice person, so I think that Bjorn Fortuin really stuck out, even though he didn't make a very high score. How much did he make again? I think he made like 17 very hard earned runs, I have to say. So I think, Bjorn Fortuin. Yeah.
You say hard earned, but Khalid says it's luck.
I didn't say it's complete luck.
Well,
not complete luck, but some of the 4s were luck.
He's a Manchester fan.
Exactly.
No, I think but I think most of them were kind of pre-calculated, especially some of the reverse. I think he did quite a few reverse shots. It was kind of like, I didn't think it was going to go that way, and then maybe that was kind of lucky, but in the end, I don't know. And he was not out, so I think if he was not injured, sprained, whatever he sprained, and if he weren't like, obviously he's like at the bottom of the order, but if there wasn't so many, if the score wasn't so low, I don't think he would have felt that stressed out and pressured to carry over the line. So I think for me, Bjorn Fortuin.
So look here, I'm giving full props. I haven't been completely critical. I was critical only of the senior players in the side. Specifically.
Yeah.
I think that the youngsters put in a good performance. Bjorn Fortuin, I think he was stellar, and I'm giving him props. If you want to do a quick rating, I think he played well today. Yanaman Malan played well until he faced the spin. He has a problem with spin. We need to sort it out. That everybody knows. It's a well-known fact. The commentators were saying it, and if the commentators can say it, and they don't
because
hardly see Yanaman
play.
Right. No, because they hardly see Yanaman play, but they could see that Yanaman was struggling against spin, and we've been seeing it for a long time. I think he deserves an amazing praise for the way he played today. Yanaman played well. Reza deserves praise to more than just an extent, because he kept that innings together. I just felt that he needed to. Yes, we obviously wish you could have accelerated at a specific time, but with the thing that was going around him, I just felt that run out just spoiled the innings for me because at that
Yeah,
particular time,
that was unnecessary. Yeah,
it was very
wasn't very
unnecessary from a
smart move.
senior player.
Yeah, wasn't a smart
I
move.
can understand if Jock Snyman made that mistake or Bjorn Fortuyn made that mistake, but others felt that Risa shouldn't have made a mistake like that at that particular time in the innings. Emily, you haven't said much so far. You've been quiet. Lucy, you've been quiet. So I'm going to give you guys an opportunity both to speak after each other. Let's go with the two Emilys. Have a go.
Okay, I'll go first. The original Emily. I think, look, I'm a fan of Reza. I think Reza Hendricks has been a bit unlucky in selection in the past few years, in my opinion. And I mean, yes, okay, his innings today, people have been saying, oh no, he needs to accelerate. If he doesn't kick on, he's not going to be a T20 player and all those things. And yes, I get that to an extent. But Khalid, I think what you were saying.
It's not his fault today.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I agree with you in that the situation today needed him to stay in and to anchor the innings, and that's what he was doing until obviously he got out. But I honestly think he looked like one of the best players against spin. We all know that Heinrich is a good player of spin, but to me, Reza looked comfortable against spin. So I'd love to see Reza get more opportunities because I do feel like he can kick on. I do feel like he can hit sixes. He has a really good cover drive and a lofted drive, that he can hit for six easily. So I think if the situation allows it, he won't struggle to kick on. So for me, I think Reza played really well. And then obviously, Janneman. I mean, we all know he's an explosive batter. He's a really good quality youngster. I mean, for me, like Reza didn't do as badly as what Twitter is saying and as what SA fans are saying. So yeah.
Yeah, Tara, I think that we've seen enough of Janneman to see him, man. Like, especially in first-class cricket, and we've seen enough of him at the Cobras to know that, yes, he needs to iron out his game, but it will come. I think more experience in the subcontinent will obviously do that as well. I see this is not... When our players can't play spin, I don't blame the players. I'm blaming the way we go about preparing them for this.
It's been a problem for years. It's not just a problem with the players that we saw today. It's been a problem for years.
And Paul,
what do you think the coaches are doing?
I don't know. That's the problem. Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example. We had a batting coach in Benkenstein. Yes, we had a batting coach in Benkenstein. The India came down all the way to South Africa to come play us in a 6 ODI series. They were slaughtered by the spinners. 32 wickets from 2 guys. Just wait. I asked the question, Dale, why do we have a problem against spin? Oh, we don't have a problem against spin. Our players can play spin. They're good against spin. We don't have a problem against spin. Because of the angle of the way he bowls and the way we were throwing side arms at him from this angle and that angle. And boy, if you're gonna sit here and tell me now that we don't have a problem against spin,
I'm not here to defend Dale Benkenstein.
No, but do we have a problem against spin?
No, but some blame still needs to go onto the players because at the end of the day, like even in the Test series, Mark Boucher even said in the press conferences that he's had discussions with the players. Enoch also said in the last press conference about how to handle spin, whether you play forward, whether you play back, how you handle spin, what's your mental game, what's your approach. So if the players aren't applying it, why are we blaming the coaches? Janneman Malan.
I'm not blaming the coaches.
Here's the thing, Janneman Malan, we all knew Janneman Malan had a problem against spin from Mzansi Super League 1. That's 3 years ago. How can we now, all of a sudden, he arrives in Pakistan and we're like, no, we're not going to blame Janneman. No, your game needs to evolve.
That goes against my whole argument. But that goes against my whole argument. Why I'm upset. What you said now just goes against my whole argument from the beginning. Where I said that I'm upset about that fact of his game. He did well for 44, but the spinners came on and he looked bad. And that's what I'm upset about.
And the players will also take the blame. Even I remember when the women's team won India last year, this was the exact same thing. Hilton Moring was like, no, we gave them all the tools they needed to survive against spin. And the one who seemed to do quite well was Tasman Brits. She swept well, she played forward, she played back. Everyone else still seemed quite at sea. But then the question was, what did Tamsin learn and what did the others learn? And so we can't necessarily say, no, there's no coaching. Yes, maybe in the Dale Benkenstein era, you could say that. But in this era, and the other thing is Imran Khan is with him as well. And he was there to help out the guys while they were gone. So they've gotten all the tools they need to survive. Just let's not blame the coaches, blame the players.
Not blaming the coaches. So what I'm saying is our administrators need to get their act in order to get us. I don't know where they're going to find the money. I don't know what they're going to have to do, what they have to do locally to do so, whether they have to send them to Durban for 2 months to go learn how to play in spinning conditions. I don't know what the answer is, because if then I'll be the coach of South Africa or I'll be the director of cricket. But what they need to do is that we can't be 5-6 years and having the same bloody problem. If I can understand if there was an improvement. It's obvious that there's a block here somehow. There's no improvement. There's improvement from, I can see Markram went away and went to go do some proper learnings on himself, probably by himself, to go find out a way to play a spin or do whatever he needs to do. But there needs to be something from administrators in Cricket South Africa that they can say, look here, guys, we need to sort out this problem. Whether we send them to India for a spin camp, whether for a longer period of time, whether we get an overseas player that knows how to play spin and advisor to come to. Get Joe Root, man, flip it now. Let him retire, come coach us how to play spin. Look here, Lucy, you didn't get an opportunity to say anything. You can have a go. If England performed like this tonight against Pakistan, how would you feel?
I'd call myself a Protea fan.
What Proteas fan? What's happening?
I thought, like my highlights from batsman were probably Reza. I thought he played well. Like Emily said, Twitter went a bit mad. I don't think it was fair. So yeah, and then obviously opening as well. Milan batted well.
Tara, I'm going to give it over to you.
I feel like Pakistan. I feel like Pakistan was actually excellent.
Tara, I think are you turning into a Pakistan fan?
Getting
his
maiden century, and you know what? I think that he hit more sixes than our team did together. Him alone, he hit more sixes than all of our players accumulated. And I think that what Aaron was saying is correct. We need to give credit there because they did play really well. And then what we can be excited about as the Proteas team is that in that last over, how many did we need from that last over, Khalid? A ridiculous amount, like 19 or something.
Gettable.
Yeah, 19 from that last over. I think it's amazing. I don't know why Leisha's laughing.
No, I don't. I can't.
I think it's incredible that we found just
and beyond.
3 runs short with who we had at the crease. I think we can be excited about that because we look at this team and this isn't our final team. We still have so many other senior players that's going to come in, and then your Muller, all the responsibility is not going to be on him. And then he'll have the opportunities to shine here and there. And if he doesn't perform, we still have other players there to perform. That's what a Muller is, Khalid. It just happens to be that today there's youngsters around him and silly things from Reza. But I think it's very exciting. Lisha,
I'm sorry, David.
Agree with me here. Let's be excited about this. Were you not excited in that last over? You were thinking, wow, we may get this.
No. I'm joking. I do. I agree with that. It's exciting time to see Bjorn stepping up like that in. But like, I mean, 90 Bjorn them. It was a lot. But it's a great also, but I just think we had like the wrong batsman at least. But yeah, it's exciting, I suppose.
Yeah, we're still struggling to hear you, Lisha. We're still struggling to hear you.
I am still struggling. Aditya, what do you think about this?
Yeah, I think the one thing that we probably haven't talked about just yet is that South Africa probably missed trick with the conditions on offer. South Africa won the toss. It was a great toss to win. And to me, personally, I think that was sort of 50% of the game won right there. Because in Lahore, generally at this time of the year, you expect dew in the second half. So with Pakistan bowling with a wet ball and the ball coming onto the bat better for the South Africans, I think the South Africans had an advantage there, which they didn't really use as much as they probably should have. And seeing that a couple of senior players, particularly Miller and Klaasen, having played in the subcontinent before, I would have liked to see them sort of take that advantage home, which would have meant that they would have liked to be tighter in the first innings with the ball. I think Junior Dala going for like 12 runs in over. I understand that this wicket wasn't conducive to express pace, but perhaps having a bowler go for 12 runs and over is not ideal. So I think somewhere that cost them the game. But secondly, I think the key in a batting performance like that is having wickets in hand, particularly when the ball is old and it's going to fly on this surface. So I don't think the South Africans took complete advantage of that. But then that's experience. Hopefully in the next game they're going to take account of that. And they'll use these lessons to their advantage and hopefully come back stronger. But all in all, I love the emotion, Khalid, but I don't think the South Africans did that badly. Eventually they will come good. I'm quite optimistic.
Yeah. Well, what stood out for you from the South Africans' performance? I like you have a very neutral stance. So from your point of view, what stood out for you? Who was the most exciting for you?
Well, first off, I loved Babar Azam's run out in the first over of the game. I thought that really set the tone and that really sparked the fielding effort. In the subsequent overs, you could really see the team was quite energized, and I liked seeing that. For quite a while, I think we've been rather critical of South Africa's fielding efforts for a team that we know historically has been a champion fielding side. So I'd say that, and then again, we haven't talked about Andile Bekwayo's bowling performance. I think 4 overs, 33 runs, 2 wickets. That's outstanding figures for this pitch. So he did very well there. And from a batting point of view, again, watching Janneman Malan and Reza Hendricks, both are names that we've been hearing for a long time, and it's good to see them get runs. Unfortunate run out for Reza Hendricks, but can't blame him. He scored a 50, and he's done himself great favors doing that. And again, regrettably, the middle order didn't perform well. But seeing Bjorn Fontaine score some of those cheeky ramps was quite heartening. And I thought that there was I actually felt like they're going to take Shaheen Afridi to the cleaners, because second last over with a wet ball, very difficult for a bowler, particularly a fast bowler. So I thought they were going to smack him. Didn't happen. Unfortunately, came out on top, but no harm done. Well played, Proteas.
Okay. I just want to say, yes, I'm hoping to see a better performance in the second test, of course. In the second T20. Hopefully, like what me and Paul maybe spoke about. I know, Paul, you said maybe the option of maybe swapping Reza and Jacques Snyman if you're going to give Jacques more time against the fast bowlers. It's also an option to maybe bring him down the order so that he can face, if it's a spinning wicket, to rather move him down the order a little bit more maybe, and move Heinrich Klaasen up because he's better against spin. First and foremost, I just want you guys to say, I love Mpo a lot, and that's why I bring him on the show so that he can challenge me. Otherwise, it's going to be a boring show. And then I'm just going to have to give all my opinion and there's no one to challenge me. So you guys mustn't misunderstand it. Me and Mpo have a very good relationship. We talk like this when we talk. So don't think that it's anything else. Love you, Mpo. So let's get into this. I just want, before I give you another chance, I just want to give the twins more opportunity to speak. Is there anybody that you maybe want to see in the side in the next T20? Do you want to keep the same side? How do you look ahead?
think we could keep the same. So I know people obviously disagree with us, but yeah, let's see what the side can do now that they've tested the waters.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. But I do have another question actually. Can I, if I may ask?
Yes, of course.
So I know so in the game there was that moment where Talat was stumped and a lot was saying it was definitely not out. And I want to know from everybody if you agree if it's not out or out, because I think that was not out.
It's out.
I think he's
Put your finger on the screen, guys.
I genuinely think
It's not out.
out.
It wasn't out.
I don't know.
It wasn't out at all. No,
Yeah,
I'm joking.
it wasn't.
I'm just
So,
doing
yeah.
it. I wanted to do for Ravi
Oh.
the Pogba finger wave, but didn't work out that quite
Yeah.
well. Stop rolling your eyes, Aaron.
Oh,
Aaron, I mean Aaron.
I will start saying Khalid.
You be calling for the whole first half of
Aaron.
the episode.
Oh, let's not.
Hey, Aaron.
Not start that.
Hey, Aaron.
Hey, Aaron. Oh, that's what we should be calling it.
Oh,
Hey, Aaron. Yeah. Hey, Aaron.
fantastic. Brill. Really insightful, this. Fantastic.
Okay, cool, guys. Let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
Tara, we're gonna start with you. Your final say. What do you think you would like to see in the next game, etc. And then Aditya, and then we can go around the screen.
Right, I think you are all wrong. No, I'm just kidding. I think very valid points were made tonight, Khalid. From everyone, I think Bjorn Fortuin was very exciting. I alone, I guess, found that last over to be riveting while I was exercising. I think that we need to keep an open mind when looking at our team. This isn't our final team. This isn't the T20 team. This isn't the one we're sending to the World Cup. And I think that we need to keep that in mind, that like Aaron was saying, it is a bit of an audition, you know, for many players. And if players are performing in this series, amazing. If they're not, it's not the end of the world. Let's not get too excited about that. Let's just let them play. Let's see how it goes. Also, Pakistan looking amazing in this time. They have players that are, I mean, a lot of their guys didn't perform that great when it came to the batting, but they had somebody who put up their hand and batted through and was spectacular. And maybe if we had that, maybe in the next game, if we have somebody doing that, it will be a very different story, and then we can see a few players breaking out and doing exciting things and taking more risks. But all in all, I stick with what I was saying at the beginning of the show. I'm happy with it. I'm not disappointed. The hate on Twitter, they can continue hating. The Proteas fans are very fickle anyways.
Yes, we are.
Continues to be a problem. Yes, we are. Yes, because I'm obviously a Proteas fan, even though many confuse me for an India fan a lot of the time. But
I met you as an
Proteas
Indian
all.
fan, actually. Just saying.
Why'd you gotta pull it dirty like that? Eh? Why you gotta do me like that, Harley?
No, she's a Proteas fan, man.
I am a Proteas fan. I mean, I was the Proteas fan when you met me.
Yeah, you are.
I just have Indian roots. That's all. But Proteas fan all the way. So all in all, I stick with what I'm saying. I'm happy, Khalid. I disagree with you, and hopefully, the next game. I think we're gonna win the next game. That's what I think.
I hope so.
I think that we're gonna go back. We're gonna think about what we did, the mistakes that were made, and I think that they're gonna really, really sit and think about it and try and correct that. And I think we're gonna come back and we're gonna win the next game because we didn't lose it by miles and miles, and we're not looking terrible.
Aditya?
Yeah, all in all, I'm optimistic for the next two games, and I'm sure that the Proteas middle order will come good. As Klassen said that he wanted the middle order to raise its intensity. So I'm sure that that's something that the team management will talk about. But other than that, and hopefully Bjorn Fortuin hasn't hurt himself too badly, because after his performance today, they wouldn't want to replace Bjorn Fortuin for sure. So I would love to see the same team pretty much, and possibly have Junior Dala being used differently in the next game. But overall, I was quite pleased to see what happened today, and I'm sure that they'll fill the gaps in the next couple of games. So,
awesome.
yeah,
Let's
series
go
win.
Yeah, let's go zigzag, Lucy.
Yeah, I think we'll come back and like win the next one, and hopefully the one after that. But yeah, I think it's a big like rebuild type thing after looking at today's match. And it'd be nice to see a bit of a mix up in the team, perhaps like bring Glenton in maybe.
Awesome. Let's go with Aaron.
Well, yeah, I think I'd echo the words of those who've gone before me. Hopefully South Africa can win from a neutral standpoint, set up a nice series decider. And for David Miller, and for your sakes, Khalid, I hope that David Miller scores a few runs. Hopefully show a bit of Miller time.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
I hope so too.
That's all I hope for.
Look, I think I'd like to see a few more guys over the weekend. I want to see Rickerton get at least a game, Ogutlekele get a game. I think no one's talking about him. I want to see how he's going to bowl. Obviously, Glenton's going to get a game. There's no way they're not going to take him to Pakistan and not have him play. But look, it's T20. If we lose 3-0, the world's not going to end. It's just opposite. It's just as we spoke last time that we already know the 13 going to the World Cup. It's essentially 2 spots open. So it's up to the guys to knock the door down. If you don't want to knock the door down, you're going to be sitting and watching the World Cup with us. So it's what it is. So I'm just excited to see some good cricket. There's good cricketers across both sides. And Bjorn Fortuin, by the way, bowled incredibly well today. I don't think we gave him credit for that. And so did Proteas. But I'm really happy that the guys got game out.
Let's go with the Twins.
Yeah, we wanted to actually mention that unfortunately our clairvoyance won't apply here. So so we don't know how the Proteas are going to do, but we do believe that they will do better.
Yeah.
And just work on their consistency as well. And yeah, I agree with Tora. I think we might come back stronger in the next game, and yes, possible win maybe. Maybe see some tighter partnerships and less collapsing in the crucial stages. But yeah, less pressure on the wrong side, like the bottom. Yeah. So so just better performance all around. Yes.
Awesome. Emily, wrap it up for us.
Look, I mean, I think if we're going to be using this as a trial, like Aaron said, then I mean, you may as well use it as a trial then. And like what Mpo was saying, then bring in someone like Ryan, bring in someone like Clinton, bring in a Kukle. I don't know, just try things then if you're going to try things. So yeah, I mean, I don't know how many changes they will make, but I'd be interested to see who they change. But yeah, I was disappointed, but yeah, like you guys were saying, this isn't necessarily the team, so definitely a lot of opportunities for people to stand up.
Okay, so thank you guys for giving me your views. It's calmed me down a lot more. You guys came up with awesome counterattacks to that, and I'm glad that you guys can do that. I really wanted to take all the flack today on today's show, because I needed to take a stance that I was seeing that was trending on Twitter at the moment, and there's going to be a lot of angry fans, and if none of us were angry about it and upset about it, I don't think this would have been a very entertaining show. It would have just been very blah. So I think someone had to take that stance, and I'm going to take the heat for this particular thing. I know that this was a project. I think this was an opportunity for players to put up their hands and show that they can maybe fill in those last couple of spots that we spoke about in the preview. I hope you guys watched the preview, because if you watch the preview, you will notice that there's certain trends over here that have changed since my opinion from the previews. So I think there's certain players that need to put up their hand, and that's what they're looking for. They're looking to fill those particular gaps. I think they should test a couple of guys maybe in some of the matches. I don't think the series was out and out for people that I don't think they were going out with the sense of we're going to bash Pakistan. I don't think that was ever going to be the case. I think they are trying to give people an opportunity. I really hope that Miller does come right and Miller time does come. I want him to perform. I want every single player to perform in the side. And I hope that Klaassen can get a few runs in the next game. I hope that Janneman comes right as well, and that he learns that he can play against the spinners a little better. I hope that he learns from this experience, this tour to Pakistan. It's an awesome experience for him to learn how to play these conditions. I'm sure that the coaching staff will talk to him and tell him, look here, this is where you went wrong, this is where you didn't. Poor Jacques Snyman, I think that it's his first ever T20I, difficult conditions. I hope that he learns from this as well, and he brings out and Jacques, maybe we can catch up after the series and talk about your experience over there and what you learned from the experience. I have to give a shout out to Bjorn Verteen. Was a boss. He played like a real boss Protea player with a badge on his chest today. I really have to give you props for an amazing performance from your side. I think Lotus Pamela bowled very well. Yes, he got smacked around a bit, but he played very well. I think Dwayne Pretorius, I think you are a guy that deserves more trust from the coaching staff. I think maybe you can even bat up the order. I think you need more batting time. I'm not talking 4-5, 3-4-5, but I'm saying maybe you can move one above Andile maybe. If they're looking at him as a particular all-rounder that's more of a batting all-rounder than a bowling all-rounder. I think his batting is excellent. I think if, with a little bit more balls at the end of the day, I think we could have been in a good chance if he had some time to get his eye in. I think Andile showed patches of brilliance. I mean, Andile was our he bowler today. He always stands up. I think he is our best T20 bowler, actually. That's what I believe. He always comes out with the wickets. He's under a lot of pressure. He's a big BMT, I feel. And going to be crucial to the side. I hope that South Africa win this next games. I hope that we can get some happiness back into the Proteas fan base, because we all need it. We've been in a difficult time, I think. With COVID and bad results, it's not a nice thing to feel. Luckily for me, Man United's doing okay, because I didn't expect them to win a league or anything, but at least they are competing or doing all right. I never expected them to win a league this season. I didn't ever expect them to win a league. I never ever did. You can ask Emily.
Yeah, he didn't.
But Emily's another Man United supporter.
Wait, guys, this is a cricket show. Let's not talk about soccer and pipe dreams.
Wait, Umpo, you're the last one to speak, please. Arsenal's no way. Let's not speak about that. But yeah, Khalid, yeah, he didn't expect us to win. He didn't expect us to win the league. So yeah, I can back him. I can back him.
When it comes to Umpo, I'm actually very alike with you with regards to understanding a process, because like the Proteas, I understand we're in a transitional phase right now. We're trying to look for our best sides. The T20 World Cup is around the corner, so we need to find that little extra salt-based sprinkles so that we can get that final T20 squad that we feel are able to compete in this World Cup. I'm not expecting South Africa to go here and win this World Cup, and that's not my expectations over here. My expectations is a competitive Proteas team. I want to see improvement from the ODI World Cup. That when we were bad there. So I'm hoping that there's an improvement from that. Just an improvement. Just make it out to a semi-final, quarter-final. Like just try. Just put it. I want to see a good performance. If you lose, playing well, it's okay. I just don't want to see stupid things happening in these games and making stupid mistakes. They put themselves in the spotlight by saying they want to play smart, attractive brand of cricket. So that's the words. If you're going to tell me you're going to play smart, aggressive cricket, I want to see it. So I'm hoping that will happen. But thanks a lot to everybody for coming on the show. I'm sorry that Lisha's connection wasn't that good. She'll be better on the next Offside Maiden show. She has amazing opinions and amazing insights into the game, and I really hope that you guys can listen to it on the Offside Maiden show. Thank you a lot, Tara, for co-hosting the show for me. Thanks a lot, Aditya, for staying up so late. I know it's late in India, and thank you for going to the press conference. I'm going to put up the piece very soon and the press conference. Thank you, Lucy, for making time for us. You have it a little easier because you're 2 hours behind like Aaron, but it's cool. Thank you a lot for making yourself available. Aaron could be live on Instagram right now with his fan base, talking to them. So thank you for giving us the time. Go follow him on Cricket Connoisseur as well. He has an excellent platform. He does amazing Instagram lives with his fan base. Paul Moreki could have been doing a review show with some of these guys as well. So thanks a lot for making your time available every single night with diligence. Love you a lot, bro. Emily, as usual, you know what I think about you. I don't have to tell you again. The twins, excellent insight. I love it. Fan opinion, real raw fan opinion. Go catch their show, Offside Maidens, on a Thursday at 7 o'clock. Please go over there and support them with super chats and everything that you can do. Please go download the latest issue of our magazine, because we have our first ever women's edition of the magazine. We really wanted to make a statement with this one, and I feel that we're getting there by making the statement. It's really taken off right now. So the link is on the screen and in the description. You'll see some awesome content there from Aditya, from Emily, from the twins, so from Lububalo, from so many other writers as well that have given their time to write some awesome interviews. You'll see the Offside Maiden shows in there that coincide with some of the articles as well. So please go and support that. Don't forget to go to crickfanaticsmag.com for all your updates. That's where you'll find all your reports, your updates, and all of those type of things that you like to, if you want to go and support us there. If you have a business and you want to promote via the website, you can also contact us. Don't forget to smash that like button. I saw a lot of you guys streamed on today. Please go back if you haven't. If you're watching this later, go and smash that like button. Let's get the likes up on this video so we can start trending this a little bit. Don't forget to obviously become a patron as well. Join this community, become a patron. The link is on the screen. Help us get exclusive content to you and grow this channel as much as we can. Thanks a lot for everybody for tuning in. David, don't take all my comments 100% as full proof of it. I'm being a little. Don't take it to heart. We still love you. I think I still love you. All of our fans still love you. We just want you to perform. We want you to be the David Miller that we all know you can be. So just believe. If you believe, you can do it. You can do whatever you can do. And to all the Proteas out there, good luck for the next game. Well done on today's performance. I know you tried to win it for us. You didn't go out there trying to lose it. So thank you for a lot. And thank you for going out there in a pandemic, putting your hearts on your sleeves and going to play and bringing us some entertainment. Thanks to everybody for watching, and we'll see you guys very, very soon. Take care, everyone.